Hi everyone, welcome to Mom Abroad. I'm Elizabeth and this is my channel. It's so weird to be saying that. I've been thinking about this and trying to figure out exactly how I wanted to go about this channel and talk about my experiences abroad. And so I decided just to dive in and start with what I know, which I'm learning a lot about. I moved here to Korea. My family and I, we live in Seoul, and we've lived here for just over 3 months. And it's a definite change. It's a definite adjustment. But I really want my YouTube channel to be supportive of people, in particular families and moms that move abroad and don't have as much of a support system, particularly to Korea. And this channel hopefully will be a good guide, at least from my perspective, on different aspects of living in Korea, particularly with a family. And I'm just excited to share it with everyone. I did a lot of YouTube searching before I moved here. And while I was really, really excited with all of the stuff that was online, there wasn't a ton that was really focused towards civilians, non-teachers, and particularly parents who moved to Korea. So I really wanted to laser focus on those types of things. I think there's a little bit of a gap in the YouTube universe in terms of videos on that. So that's really what I wanted to put forth, and I hope everyone enjoys it. I really am interested to explore Korea with all of you. Like I said, I just moved here. My son is today 16 months old, so he'll be growing up partially here. Some of his first memories will be here in Korea, so of course I really want to give him an experience of a lifetime, and it's just a really exciting time for my family. So I really hope that you guys like what I'm able to put out for everyone, and I hope that it's useful. And that's really my intent with all of this, is just to put out something into the universe that's going to be helpful and useful for people a lot like me, and even people not so much like me. Even if there's people out there who don't have very much in common with me, but they find my videos helpful or instructive or hopefully funny and entertaining in some variety or another. So that's what I would love to talk about. Please let me know if there's anything specific that you would like to know about. I am taking suggestions. I have pages and pages of notes that I want to discuss throughout the coming weeks. And but if you have anything in particular that you're really needing to know about and I can help you out, I would absolutely love to do that. So please comment below and let me know what it is you want to see in the next at least 3 years while we're here. So I'd love to help out. Yeah, that's my intent. So I really look forward to everyone letting me know, and a dialogue that I can hopefully potentially help out and answer some questions. I do not speak Korean. I wish I did. I don't read it either. I'm moving here with some basic Spanish, which, believe it or not, doesn't help at all. And I'm really looking forward to learning so much more about the culture. I really knew nothing. Korea wasn't even on my radar when we first talked about moving here. My husband got a job here. So, but once we started thinking about Korea, it became obvious that it was the perfect choice for us. Neither of us had lived here. I'd never even been here before. My husband had come when he was previously in the Air Force, but that was over a decade ago. And a lot changes in Korea from a day-to-day basis, let alone in 10 years. So I've always kind of felt a connection with Korea because my parents were both stationed here. They were both linguists with the military way before me, and they were stationed down at Osan. But my husband and I are here in Seoul, and we work as civilians for the U.S. government on Yongsan, which is right in the heart of Seoul. So that's where we live as well. We live off post, meaning we live out in Seoul. We have an apartment in Yongsan-gu, which is the same area as the base is located. And, you know, I don't pretend to think that we're not completely fortunate where that's concerned. Real estate in Seoul is exorbitantly expensive. And luckily, we have positions with the government that allow us to have our housing paid for, which is pretty typical when you go overseas with the government. So we're really lucky in that regard. So some of my experiences in Seoul are going to be somewhat tempered by the fact that we're given a lot by our jobs to move here in the first place. And one of those is paying for our housing. So we were able to get a beautiful apartment, and it's really exciting. We are still in boxes because household goods don't arrive right away. In fact, it took ours about 2.5 months to get here, and because we both work full-time and we have a son, unpacking is not actually the first priority. Actually, if you can believe it, me making this YouTube video is more of a priority than unpacking right now. So maybe once things are all unpacked, I can put a video up that shows our apartment, or at least some of our apartment, and that will give you an indication of what a high-rise apartment in Seoul would look like if you do end up living on the economy or you're interested to know. But most teachers who live here don't have apartments in high-rises because they're very, very expensive, and they require something called key money, meaning that you have to put your entire year's worth of rent or a certain percentage of the cost of the apartment, like the whole purchase price of the apartment, you have to put that down. You have to give that to the landlord all at once. And a lot of people don't have the ability to do that because we're talking like anywhere between $50,000 and $800,000, depending on what it is. So many, many, many Americans here in Seoul don't live in apartments like this. Like I said, we know how lucky we are, and we're fortunate in that regard. But it was something that we went in eyes wide open. We knew that that was going to be part of the package deal when we came here. So I'm happy to see that. So other things that I want to talk about on my channel, traveling in Korea. I haven't really traveled much so far because we're still just getting acquainted with the city, but I would love to go, you know, all over the peninsula and all over Asia if possible. That's part of the reason why people move to Korea, right? Move to a foreign country is to see not just that country, but everything in the area. I'm going to be using some terms on this channel. Oh, my hair is weird. Sorry. Like the term PCS, which is a common military and government acronym, meaning permanent change of station, meaning you move overseas or to somewhere else that you're not already located. So that's one of the things that I say is that we PCS'd here. And anyone in the government or military will know exactly what that means because that's a really common phrase. But for those of you who are not in that world, that might be a new one for you. I also love Korean food so far. It's really different and it's really interesting to get used to. But so from time to time I might be reviewing some food or explaining some food or talking about my favorite food. But there are lots and lots and lots of videos on YouTube already about food in Korea, understandably so. It's delicious and super cheap and totally worthwhile. But I had never even had Korean food before I came here. Not to say I'm not an adventurous eater, but for some reason it just never came up as an opportunity. So as soon as I found out that I was going to come here, I started researching. And luckily, some of my favorite YouTubers are really, really big into reviewing food. So I was able to pick up a lot from that. And actually coming here after doing a lot of YouTubing, like reviewing different people's videos on Korean food, I actually ended up coming here and knowing more than most of the people who've been here for a couple of years because I've been watching the videos so much. So even though I hadn't had any of it, I knew what I was looking at and I knew what it was called. So that's been really fun actually to like strangely be kind of a knowledge base for the people that I know at work who aren't that adventurous at eating. I am. So I get to taste all of the amazing things. I really also want to discuss on this channel the impact that being overseas has on a family and some of the difficulties involved with that, because I think, at least for me, when I was looking at YouTube to see videos of Korea, I really was curious to know that sort of thing. Like, is it a viable thing to move to a country like Korea with a baby? When we came here, he had just turned 1, and that was really daunting. We barely knew him, let alone him in a foreign country or us in a foreign country, and how that dynamic would work. So I really want to delve into that a little bit more and give you my experience with that. I can say so far, Korea is probably the most child-friendly place I've ever been. It kind of almost takes you back in time to maybe the 50s or 60s in the US, where it was kind of that like it takes a village kind of concept. Everyone is in some way involved in your child, even if you don't really want them to be. It's just part of the culture here, and you'll see anywhere on the street just like people talking to or I don't know, like patting on the back, like random children, because here the children are they're such an important part of the culture. They even have a holiday in the spring that is just for kids. It's just the kid day. So I'll definitely be looking into that and what it's like to have a baby and a toddler and soon just a little guy in Korea, and what that means for us. I definitely want to give the perspective of family friendliness, or what it takes to move about the city, to what it takes to go to tourist attractions here when you have a stroller and a diaper bag and things like that. So I really want to give some reviews as far as that goes. We have done a few things so far, like the aquarium and things like that are, I would say, pretty easy, but we haven't really challenged ourselves as of yet. There's quite a few, I mean, there's tourist attractions everywhere in Korea, because not only do you have the new stuff like Lotte World, which is a huge indoor amusement park, you have the really like old historic places like Gwangbok Palace and things like that. So it'll be an adventure in and of itself just to try to move the baby through that atmosphere. And I can tell you, at least from our perspective, what works and what definitely doesn't work. And I would say, at least for now, jogging strollers, they're not really viable options. Sorry for all you jogging stroller lovers. We have a jogging stroller. We love it. And it's great for the roads, but not for the people in the crowds and things like that. So that's just a little heads up from me to you. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about in my first episode. Hopefully you will see more from me very soon. I'm hoping to put up quite a few episodes, videos, whatever you want to call them, and I will definitely be labeling them with what I'm going to discuss on each one, so they'll be easy to find, I hope. But if you have any difficulties, or again, any questions, or you want to reach out in any way, please leave comments below. I'm happy to dialogue with anyone who has questions about moving here. I'm by no means an expert yet, but hopefully I can become somewhat of a guru in terms of just what it takes to move here, and especially what it takes to move here with a family. So I really look forward to talking to all of you about this, and I really hope that I can be of value to you going forward. All right, signing off for now, but I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.